We're joined by Stocky. How you doing, Stocky lad?
Sorry, mate, it's Big Trip, username error.
He's at big trip now.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you?
Mate, at least I showed up early.
Yeah. What are you on with?
Yeah, just a coffee this morning. Love the Union Jack, so I do.
Where are you from then? Sheffield.
Yeah, Sheffield way, mate. Steel City.
Steel City. Whereabouts?
Yeah, Ingle way, innit? Winkerbank.
Is that where you're from up there?
Well, there's an estate nearby called Flower Estate. So, yeah, it's a
Oh,
5 minute walk, basically.
go on, lad. You love it up there, don't you? Do you see much of Flex?
Mate, I don't go to that guy's gym. I don't go to that guy's gym. Let's just leave it at that.
Do you like his body warmer though?
I've not seen it. I think he only gets it out for pros. He don't just get it out for anyone, does he?
Okay. Uh, right. Let's have a little look in Poker's bag of tricks here. You know this Turkey guy, this Turkey Al Sheikh, right? Do you feel that if he hadn't have put the money up in the last few years, we won't have got fights like Usyk, Fury 1 and 2, Bivol, Beterbiev 1 and 2, just to mention a few. You know, if we hadn't got him, all we've got right, basically is Josh Kelly, Callum Simpson, and Jack Catterall in UK. You know what I mean? It's not same, is it?
No, not at all, mate. I mean, I'm 26, so I've only been watching boxing properly since 2013, and yeah, we've not had these kind of big fights in recent years, so it's great times for boxing.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. Do you think it's been a positive change for boxing Turkey then, or
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I know people say, "Oh, over there they do certain things," but I'm just watching boxing, to be honest, mate.
yeah. Yeah, that's it. We just want the fights on, don't we, really?
Yeah, what his thoughts on LGBTVZ? I don't really care, to be
Yeah.
honest, mate.
All right. Manny Pacquiao's coming back
Oh,
next month against Barrios. He's 47 this year. What do you think to that?
didn't he start off at like flyweight or something? I mean, he's obviously well past it now. I
Yeah.
mean, I've heard the kid he's coming back against is some Mexican kid or something who's not that good. But yeah, it does get dangerous when you're in your late 40s, late 30s, even. Old science, hydration on brain in them lower classes as well. So
Yeah.
it's not ideal, is it?
No. Well, he's 5 year out at ring. When he fights, he's exactly 5 year out the ring, and it's a long time because your body becomes you become normal, you become humanized, don't you? And you can't absorb body shots, especially and head shots like you would before. So I think it's very dangerous. But for him to get a world title shot after 5 year out, I think it's madness. It just shows you that boxing's a fractured sport, in my opinion.
Yeah, they said George Foreman done it, but heavyweight power, and again, not as bad rehydration. So I wouldn't say that's quite as bad, but it's like I say, it's not ideal, is it? But he's getting the offer. I'd take millions as well.
Yeah, he's not going to be bothered, but he's spunked all his money on Pacquiao, a big gambler, isn't he? So that's his own fault, in it? Uh, okay, so we've spoke about Manny Pacquiao. What about this one here? Joshua and Fury's been spoke about for 14 years. Every now and then they wheel somebody out to say it's done, it's close, it's this and that. It looks like it's nowhere near, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, it's lost its mystique.
Sparkle.
They both lost to Usyk. It's lost its mystique, and it. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's a British fight. We'd all watch it. I'd go to the pub and watch it. We definitely won't pay for it.
Wouldn't you?
No, I go to the pub, mate. They always show big British fights at the pub, don't they, for free, don't they? So
Yeah. I mean, where is boxing going at the moment without Turkey? Because the only other big fights you've got like Mike Tyson fighting, and that biggest fight in like one of the biggest fights in the last 12 months. Mayweather's still hanging around there, Jake Paul and that. You think these lot need to just step aside and let the proper boxing people fight now because they've had the days, haven't they, these guys? And there's these influencers in the sport. And I just think it makes it look fractured, do you?
Yeah, I mean they were talking about Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren coming together and taking on Turkey, but I don't think they'll be that successful at that. The man's just got endless bags, hasn't he? As for the
Mm.
Misfits thing, I think it's got a bit of a place for kids and that, I think it's got a place, but yeah, you definitely have to put the pro fighters at a higher caliber, don't you?
Yeah, well, they're not being able to come through. I mean, I just spoke earlier there about what we've got to look forward to in UK. Billum Smith, Jack Cattrall, Callum Simpson, Josh Kelly. You know, these guys are not getting the flowers because of these other people hanging around like bad smells. I mean, I'm a massive Frotch fan, but why is he talking about comebacks every day on his channel? He's 48 in July next month. You know what I mean? So it's craziness. You know, he's entering his 49th year. He's talking about fighting Jake Paul and comebacks and that. I think a lot of these fighters just need to let it go when they've had the day, but it just stops others coming through, in my opinion. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, Frotch keeps himself in really good nick, and
Yeah.
obviously Jake Paul's a bit of a lemon, so he probably thinks he can do him. But yeah, I mean, it does tarnish your legacy to some extent. I'd say, that final punch he threw at Wembley should keep it as that, really.
Yeah. Don King, 94-year-old. Bob Arum, 94-year-old this year. They're both still going strong. King's just won WBA regular bid for heavyweights for Pulev. Uh,
Mate, I wanted Dave Allen to fight for WBA regular because I feel like he'd get less off Pulev than he would David Adelaide. Adelaide is a banger, isn't it?
it's Hunter against Pulev, though, isn't it, for WBA?
Yeah, I know Hatman. You watch Hatman, don't you?
I like
He
that
was
man. Yeah,
like,
he's all right, that man.
yeah, I've been watching him 10 years. Yeah, he's high on Michael Hunter, or he was anyway. But apparently this Hunter kid's been inactive, hasn't he? So
Well, Yui could have been in Hunter's position going for a title if he'd have fought Hunter back then, but there's a lot of politics, isn't there, in boxing?
yeah, I just checked you his record recently. He's won his last five or six on it, but he's not done nothing since Povetkin, really.
No, he hasn't, has he? Not really. Yui's had a tough time of it, obviously, but we want to see him moving on. He's 30, and he's not 31 yet, but time waits for nobody, does it? And, opportunities are slipping by. If Hunter slips in there on a Don King show, he might end up doing Pulev because Pulev's an old man now, isn't he? He's 40 odd, isn't he?
Yeah, Poole lives there for taking. Like I say, I wanted Dave Allen to get that, but they'll feed him to someone, won't they? He's not what he were.
Yeah. What did you make of Rhino against Fisher then?
Oh, I loved it, mate. Loved it. I picked Dave Allen by stoppage, so I'm quite proud of that one. Um, yeah, I felt like he should have got it in Saudi, but he's done the job now. Don't need a third one. Let both men go opposite ways, now, I'd say. Great knockout, great knockout.
Yeah. Do we need to see a third one because they've got a contract, big drip?
Uh, it wouldn't surprise me. Eddie don't like losing, does he? So it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Uh, what do you make of it all now? Now it's all died down a bit. Do you think the Elmer Fudd and his dad are going to jog on now, or do you think they're just going to go back to the drawing board, probably get a new trainer or something, and go again? What do you think they'll do?
He's with Jimmy Tibbs, isn't he?
Mark Tibbs, yeah.
Mark Tibbs, yeah. He could experiment. I don't know if he's got like a loyalty thing. Just because you're from a certain area, don't mean you to go to someone's gym, though. I don't go to
No.
Flexers, do I? So,
Yeah.
yeah, experiment. Or I know Hatman said he should go to Misfits. I said same about Campbell Hatton. So we'll see what he does next.
What happened to him, Campbell Hatton?
I don't. He didn't even win a area title, did he? He lost to Gypsy Kid from Doncaster.
Yeah, he old hands of foam. Uh,
Uh, his work rate's half decent, but yeah, he's definitely not his dad. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, Campbell Hatton, do you know where they went wrong with him, in my opinion? They thrust him out there too quick and he was like a rabbit in headlights. He'd not got the fundamentals. And then you get exposed going up against somebody area level and you're chasing then, aren't you? Went in rematch and I just feel
Yeah,
that,
I mean, his dad was like 38 and 0 before he went in with Costa Zoo, weren't he? Frank Warren built his dad up for a while, didn't
yeah, they had about 15 WBU fights, didn't he? Selling tip milking it in at Manchester, wasn't they, for a while? But I never rated his dad anyway, to be honest, mate. He got Costa Zoo at right time.
he? And
Uh,
that was a messy fight as well, where he low blowed him and that.
yeah, he got Costa Zoo like Barry McGuigan got Pedrosa at the right time. They'd had long careers and they just timed it right, like Fury did with Vladimir. But Vladimir offered Fury the fight after he beat Chisora the first time and they waited it out. And sometimes timing in boxing, if you get it right, you can get that win. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that quite a few times over decades, haven't we? Where you get the champ just before he's about to fall off.
Yeah, like Jim McDonnell. Uh, he beat Barry McGuigan, but when they first were going to have the fight, Mickey Duff were like, no, 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 we're going to swerve this guy here. And we're going to go around the outside and get him at the end. And they got Barry McGuigan when he was 28 and finished. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
But
Uh,
was that 70s or 80s?
80s, that what? Late eight. I think it was about 89. Jim McDonnell beat McGuigan in McGuigan's last fight, but Jim McDonnell was swerving him a few years before, but they just timed it perfectly. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah, a bit before my time that one, but yeah,
Yeah, I
I've
know. You're only a young gun, aren't you? But
yeah.
yeah. So timing is everything. Okay. Eubank Senior is on about making a comeback. Do you think it's gone to his head that bit of an entrance he had at his son's fight?
Well, they were saying he got paid off, didn't they? They were trying to build it as some romance thing, rose tinted glasses, father and son. But apparently, Turkey slipped him some money. But yeah, come on, he's well old now, isn't he? Eubank Senior.
He must be pushing 60-year old. He's crackers as it is anyway. He's got
You
about
remember?
two brain cells in his head. Go on, what?
Remember Frank Bruno were talking about coming back for ages.
What? From but coming back from what though? From scoring Sniff?
Mental health.
Coming back from what? But listen, do you know that mental health thing? I don't, I don't buy into that at all because you got millionaire sportsmen with adulation and all that, and then as soon as it's over, they turn to mental health, and I don't buy into all that. I think it's something that people are turning on and off too much. We never heard that wet mental health in World War II, did we? Or in miners' strike. People want saying, "Oh, I can't go out and get any spuds outfield today. It's too cold." People just went, "My mental health will kick in." People just got on with stuff. So, but I see where you're coming from. But I don't know what Frank can be doing. Look, he's just going to ponce a living like the rest of them, innit? They all got flown out to Turkeys, didn't they, and got fees. And that's what they're going to do. They're just going to be like that now. And boxers are a funny breed of people, aren't they? Very, very funny breed. But I don't see Frank Bruno doing out. And I don't see Eubank Senior doing out, or as he keeps referring to himself, he's called himself English, and he now.
Yeah, he's an aristocrat. You know that scene in Goodfellas where he says, "You want medium rare,
Yeah,
aristocrat."
yeah, that's what he is. Yeah, that's what he is. Uh, Teofimo Lopez has tweeted that Turkey is a dictator and it's looking like they ain't any fights off now. Do you think he shot himself in foot there?
It's nice to see a bit of resistance though, because they're
Yeah,
all licking. They're all lickers, aren't they? So it's nice to
yeah.
see a bit of resistance. Respect it, kid.
Well, we've got Bricktop there walking out on the stage with the world's media there, sports media, holding hands with a man with a tea towel on his head. Right, that's the bottom line. Now, if somebody had said that to me 5 years ago, I'd have said you're all crackers. But if somebody had said to me 10 years ago, Frank Maloney is going to have his dick cut off and have it turned inside out, and he's going to change his name to Kelly and wear a bad wig and wonky eyelashes, I'd have said you're crazy. I would have said you're
Mate,
absolutely crazy until I seen. Sky Sports news vans up at Dennis's farmyard and going in and interviewing Dennis about his business relationship with Maloney. What's going on here? I would have said you crackers, but nothing surprises me in boxing. No, it surprises me at all. I mean, and it's not
Mate, no
first time.
surprise.
Eh?
No surprises me in this world anymore. I mean, I can't look at a bird now. Is it a man? Is it a woman? Don't know.
Well, it's not first time it's happened. Look at Clinton Woods' trainer, who sadly passed away, but he did a Kelly Maloney, didn't he? Do you know what I
Uh,
mean? Neil
is
Pope.
Clinton's dad poorly or something?
Yeah, I think he's. Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I think he's very poorly. Yeah.
My dad's mates with Clinton. Yeah, God bless.
Yeah, he's all right. Clinton is a good bloke. Uh, when you look back at Clinton's career and you look at these light heavyweights now, Yard, he's not been brought on correctly. They've either put him in with killers or guys that are not much cop. He's been in with Lindenhoff for better
Yeah,
being.
that same as Kell Brook, innit? I mean,
Yeah.
he was fighting no one, then undefeated Porter, undefeated Golovkin, no one in middle.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from because they have to protect the rankings, don't they? But if you look at Clinton Woods, when he went in with Roy Jones, Dennis didn't put him in with more killers like that after that. He learnt his craft and they regrouped. Now, why couldn't Yard regroup after the better beef loss, right? And go again? It's all a bit fractured and there are fighters are just wanting to take risks when it's massive money and a world title, or they don't want to take any risks. There's no middle ground, Big Trip, in my opinion. And the careers of Anthony Yard and Clinton Woods are so different. Clinton held the IBF over 3 years. Yard's not even got there yet. But look at the money these people are earning.
Lions in the camp, innit?
Lion bars in the fridge. That's what it is.
Fridge raider like me.
Yeah, fridge either. Uh, Go to Joe McAnally. He's the best, the new Dark Lord we've been hearing for the last 2 years. Well, Shannon Courtney, Beefy Smith, and Josh Taylor. Will they beg to differ now? Go to Joe McAnally.
Who's that? Joe who?
Joe McAnally, Shannon Courtney, Beefy Smith, and Josh Taylor's trainer. Is he the go-to guy anymore now, or is he surplus to requirements?
Me, I don't think I've heard much of him, to be honest.
Well, he's just trained Josh Taylor to a flogging. Beefy Smith's just been
I know Beefy
about
lost to some. Apparently, that Irish kid's meant to be quite good, to be fair. But I
I
don't.
had
We'll
him
have
to
to.
beat him, didn't I, if you watch my channel. Yeah, he is good. I think Liam Smith should hang it up now. Dewey's had a good career and he's made millions.
Yeah, he fought Canelo, didn't he? And he's had some big fights. If Canelo Eubank Jr. That should be enough to put it in bank, shouldn't it?
Yeah, he's had a pay-per-view on Sky. He's a millionaire, Beefy. He's had a good career. He's getting a good solid pro, but I'm not going to go in harsh on Liam Smith because he always comes across as a nice kid. But I thought he were very lucky to fluke a WBO. Uh, he got that as a gift because really he's just a good solid Euro level fighter in my opinion. I don't know what level did you think Beefy Smith were at?
About European WBO. That would probably given him to him by what is it? Frank Warren. He's
Yeah,
mates with.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you say is Beefy Smith's best win?
Bloody hell. Uh, who's he fought now recently?
Well, I'd
He's
say
been.
Eubank.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna say you. Yeah, probably Eubank in it by stoppage.
Who would you say is Callum Smith's best win?
Uh, I don't know. I ain't looked at. I ain't bloody watched him for a while.
George
Cause
Groves, I'd say. Would you agree with that, Big Trip?
yeah, I'd probably agree with that, mate.
Now, George Groves at the time were a one-armed bandit, and they rushed him, didn't they? And it were the end of his career. So that's Callum's best win. Eubank's
Yeah,
at end of his career.
just as we were saying earlier about champs over Hill, innit, getting him at right time.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying Callum's best win's George Groves. Eubank is the best win for Beefy. Paul Smith's wins Tony Dodson and Swifty. I couldn't even tell you. So you look at that lot and you think, ladies and gentlemen, the Smiths. For all the hype, the Beatles are
Do you know
boxing,
what?
all
Sorry
the
to
hype
interrupt.
we've had for the last 10, 15 years, you're just looking at it there in the cold hard light of day. We've got George Groves, the one armed bandit, old flipper arm, and we've got an old man Eubank dug up. And that is it. That's the CV for ladies and gentlemen, the Smiths, the Beatles of boxing. Where's the big names that jump out at you? Yeah, they jump out at you, but they got beat in them fights. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, and I seen Dave Allen say something really interesting recently. He says, "Get me in with these big names that are past their prime, because in 100 years they'll just seek record. They won't seek details, will they?"
Yeah, exactly. Well, Dave's not bothered. Dave's made a career out of going in with people and losing and being known as that plucky Brit that goes and takes a flogging for hardly any money. And he's carried along with that script, hasn't he, Dave, as just this normal lad and had a go and all that and in it to win it, all that rubbish. But I see where you're coming from, but I'm looking at like the Smiths record here for all four of them. There's no names jumping out at me. But weren't we told by Eddie Hills, the 7-0 Iceman from Billericay, five by way of a course, but no footage. We were told by him that Callum Smith were going to win at super middleweight world title. Then he were going to win one at light heavy, then dominate at cruiser and go to heavy. Well, 10 year on, he's not even won a light heavyweight world title. So I don't know where all that hype come from. It's just lip service paid to YouTubers to get us on the hook. Because when we look at what we're promised with Callum Smith and what we've got, it's just coming off a win over Boazzi, who's approaching
That
his
were
10th year since the Olympics, and he's still not a champion. So is that where we're at? That could be Callum Smith's best win, even over Groves, couldn't it? Really? Is that it?
Yeah, good point, mate. I were going to say though that were a good scrap recently, but what's
Yeah,
Smith?
it
It
was
were
a
a good.
good fight. He won a good fight, but what? Boazzi's no world champion.
No, he's not. He's not that proven, is he?
No, no. Turkey dropped Bricktop. He dropped Eddie Hills. He dropped Callus Suarat. Dropped all them, and he's teamed up with Dana White. Do you think he's more or less doesn't trust the Brits? What do you think, or he just don't want to work with them? How do you see it going, Big Trip?
Yeah, it looks like he's investing at Yanks now, innit? So we'll see
Mm,
how that goes.
yeah,
Um, like I said, I heard some plan that Eddie and Frank were going to try and take him on, but I just don't see that. But I think he's got an interest in British fights though. But I know like people were booing Anthem and that, but that's not here or there, is it?
yeah. Joseph Parker, is he badly done to, do you think? Has he been badly done to by the establishment?
He's had a lot of tough fights, hasn't he? And
Yeah.
at least he's won a world title, unlike Dillian White, to be fair.
Yeah, Dylan White, he's on the Wardley undercard, isn't he, against TBA when Wardley fights Justice Honey. How have you got that fight going?
Justice Sonny, he's undefeated, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't mean no, though. He's not beat anyone, has he? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've not heard much of him, so I don't think he's got much of a resume there, has he?
No, Eddie's hyping him up in it, but I can just see Wardley flogging him myself.
Yeah, I'd go with Wardley on that.
Yeah, yeah, okay. What do you think to Fabio Wardley?
Big strong kid, innit? I think he beat is it Fraser Clark in it first round, broke his jaw.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's I think he's got some potential there, but uh, he's not a Usyk, is he?
no.
Yeah,
No, he's not an Usyk. There's only one Usyk kid, isn't there?
yeah, Usyk's. I'm I, I don't want to say I love because I don't want to say I love another man, but I do love Usyk because that Mayweather era was just so crap. Usyk's breath of fresh air, innit?
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Uh, this Moses Atome guy, right?
Yeah.
12-0 winning now. He's not been it. We know that. But isn't that a good thing that he's not been it because he's doing everything right, isn't he?
Yeah, I do want to see the chins tested a little bit. Obviously, it's better if you can get out of the way. I know Hatman's really high on Atalamo. He thinks he's got a lot of potential. Is he a southpaw or is he?
Yeah, he's got it all, hasn't he, by the looks of it.
Yeah, so like some people are trying to say he might be next thing closest to Usyk, but as we said, there's only one Usyk. But good luck to the kid.
Yeah. Usyk Dubois rematch. Who you got, Big Trip?
I've got Usyk on points, I'd say. But he's fighting in another back garden, isn't he? So don't want to see him get robbed. Hopefully he don't. He hasn't been robbed yet, so hopefully it remains that way. But Dubois a big, strong kid. He wants that revenge, so would not be surprised if he caught Usyk with a good punch and he aged overnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Referees in the UK. There's a lot of criticism coming in for A-star referees. We'll not mention any names, but you know who you are because you are listening. Oh, yeah, they listen all the time on here. Now, these A-stars, do you think that some of them have been around too long and the feet are too well under the table and it needs shaking up from top to bottom?
yeah. Imagine me. I once thought about trying to become a referee, but I wouldn't know how to do it.
Did you?
Yeah. But yeah, I know what you mean though. I would foster similar results over the years in it, so it would be nice to have a breath of fresh air. Who's that Scottish bloke from back in the day? You know when he threw towel out at ring? Was it Victor Loughlin? Were it?
Mickey
I know.
Van,
I
were
don't
it?
know.
Or Victor Laughlin, one of them.
Yeah, that Scottish fella. Yeah, old school refs like that. I don't know about his recent form. Might not, but back in the day, they were good, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. Conor Ben and Eubank. Do we need to see a second one, Big Trip?
I'd love to see it. To be as a selfish boxing fan, I'd love to see it because when I went to the pub to watch that, it were packed. It were great. It was like one of them nights. But it is a bit of a gimmick, in it. I know it's a bit of a gimmick, but whether they go different ways or they fight again, I'm not too bothered. Just keep the truck moving.
Do you think that it was a dangerous fight with all this rehydration stuff going on behind the scenes and that? And do you think they just went for the money, the promoters and that? I mean, they keep going on about safety, and then they're boiling a man down and not letting him rehydrate to a safe so he's safe in the ring, and they're letting the fight go on and that. I mean, how was that good? I mean, didn't they learn anything from Michael Watson fighting Eubank Senior for vacant 168 pound belt, but they made him boil down to 164? Didn't they learn anything from that?
No, you just said Eubank Senior. He's want to fight. He wants to fight again. Apparently, first I've heard of it,
Yeah.
and he's going on about all health and safety and that. So,
I know, and he
so
wants to fight again because he's had a little taste of stardom. Look, he were always going to be there on the night because he'd go to the opening of an envelope. Him. That's what
yeah,
he'd go to the opening of an envelope. But
he picked that soft song, halfway through entrance.
yeah,
I thought they should have kept Simply the Best going. Since Tina Turner recently passed, I thought Simply the Best were a good tribute to that era. Thought they should have kept that going. Didn't like that soft song, to be honest.
what did you think to Nigel Benn back in the day? That Gerald McClellan thing. They raised money for him, which was a very good thing to do, a charity, and breaking down, crying, and going on about the safety and all that of sport and it's dangerous and this and that. But yet they wanted to not let Eubank rehydrate to us so he was safe in the ring. Do you think that's a bit double standards there, a bit of hypocrisy?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Well, it were all
Sure.
right when it wanted to suit them and going on about safety and this and that, and but then we've just seen what happened, haven't they? When it boot on other foot and there were a few quid at stake, they wanted to sweep it under the carpet. Now, going back to the drug testing, what did you make of it all from the beginning? Where they hid it.
Yeah, I mean, they say he should have done what Dillian White done and just keep his head down. But I suppose he don't want his legacy tarnished because he's representing his dad as well. And then they're saying they're bringing up questions about his dad taking stuff now, and I can see why he fought it. But yeah, it might have been better just to crack on and keep it quiet.
Yeah, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Who do you think's at top of his game now then, Eddie or Frank?
Uh, Probably Frank.
Yeah, who's Eddie got in the UK at the moment? Who's a superstar? Bearing in mind he hasn't got a UK world champion.
Has he has he got Callum Simpson? I know he's not a
No,
star,
he's with
but
Sky, I think. But as regards Eddie, he's not got a UK world champion as a male.
yeah, I remember like when I first got into boxing around the time 2016, Eddie were on fire, weren't he?
Yeah,
He were on fire, mate. But yeah, he was like Wolf of Wall Street. But yeah, he's definitely fell off.
yeah, yeah. It's well, he's got Joshua, hasn't he? Now, he's all knocked about and that now. They don't put him in with anybody. They keep every time it looks like they're gonna have to do something with Joshua. Oh, he's injured. Oh, we're gonna make this fight. Oh, he's having a break. Look, he's wrapped in cotton wool now, waiting for Fury. They're not gonna put him near anybody. Would they put him in with Wilder? I wouldn't even want to see that. I wouldn't put it past them though, putting him in with White Rhino. I wouldn't. And maybe they're not that far apart now. Say if Dave's English level, Joshua's he might be below British level now. Hey, would you see Joshua beating Wardley?
No, not at this stage. I don't
There
think.
you
I think
go. So
yeah.
the Rhino fight could be a little bit closer than what people think.
Yeah, could do the same thing he done with Luis Ortiz, Eddie, because he were going to get Luis Ortiz some Eastern European. Then he thought, well, get him in with a guy who's got a bit of a name like Dave Allen, who's also not much of a risk. Probably same thinking, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say so.
yeah. Uh, Robert Smith pushing on for what, 19 years, 18, 19 years. Is he going to give Gary Sykes his belt? Yes or no?
Robert Smith, is he boxing border control or a fighter?
Robert Smith's head at boxing
Yeah,
board
yeah, yeah.
control.
Yeah, I would just think that's not a fighter. That's border control guy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he gonna what?
Give Gary Sykes his British title because it's an admin error why he's not got his belt. It's been going on now over a decade. Well, longer, hasn't it? I bet it's getting on for 15, 20 years or something. But he needs to be given his belt, Gary Sykes. And people keep pushing for it behind the scenes, but they won't admit the mistake. I just wondered what you felt about how boards been run last few years. You think they've done a good job?
It's definitely not being perfect, has it?
No, it's not good. What's the answer with drug testing, do you think, Big Trip? Life bans or what? And stoning in the streets, according to Tony Bellew.
Tony Bellew. Yeah. Well, Atman says they could do a drug one and a drug free one. Apparently, they were all back on it back in the day, from what I've heard,
Yeah.
90s and that before testing. Tommy Morrison and that. So yeah, it's boxing founded by gangsters, isn't it?
Well, the Conor Ben situation's really opened everybody's eyes, hasn't it, really? But what they've done, they've turned the negative. They've let all the publicity, let him get a bigger name out there, and he's played the villain. He's played the blinder, hasn't he, Conor Ben? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he were a good guy at first, and Eubanks he was saying, "Oh, they all hate you now, don't they?"
Yeah, that's what happens. That's how boxing gets you. Do you think there's too many belts, Big Trip?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, we were just talking about WBA regular and all that, weren't we?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Remember, Atman was saying they were going to take that, they were going to end that belt. All other divisions have got rid of it, apparently.
yeah. Well, we're gonna see, aren't we? Do you think that more emphasis needs to be put on the British titles and domestic belts than these? trinket belts.
Yeah, British titles got a lot of history behind it, and it's one of the
Yeah,
oldest titles, I think. Yeah, to a lot of kids, British titles like world title, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. This
Yeah,
is what you felt about it. That's all. Or would you say it's top pound for pound fighter in world big trip?
I'd say Usyk. You know, you look at his resume: Southpaw, Olympic gold, multiple division, fights everyone in the back gardens. Yeah, Usyk.
For me, it is
Crawford,
Usyk.
Crawford in a way, they're not far behind.
Yeah. Who have you got, Crawford or Canelo?
I would, I'd say Crawford. Nah, Canelo. I'd say Canelo.
Well, I'm gonna go on
I'm gonna watch that fight for sure. Interesting.
I'm gonna go on record and say Crawford beats Canelo easily. I think he stops him, mate, for the first time.
He's not looked good recently. His form, has he? If it was one weight class, I'd go Crawford, but it's two in it.
Yeah, it's yeah, I see where you're coming from, but I just feel that Crawford is just a bit special. I think people are gonna get a shock. And he's no spring chicken,
Yeah,
like he's Canelo.
I could definitely see Crawford making Canelo look stupid at times, but it's whether he can grind it out in it. You know, when
Yeah.
Canelo comes on.
Yeah, yeah. Hey. Well, listen, it's been an interesting debut for your big trip. Hope you've enjoyed it. I like your
Thank you,
glasses.
Parker. Yeah, Terminator, Big Meech. Come on,
Well,
Rastafari.
go on then, lad. Okay, well, listen, you have a good Sunday, what's left of it, mate. Okay?
You too, sir. Thank you for that.
I'll see you again, no problem, big trip. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Well, that was Big Trip from Sheffield. Women love him, men want to be him. A nice debut there. Thanks for liking
Yes.
and subscribing and leaving a comment. Go on, booyaka.